it's working. Kind of. Okay, there's me. All right, I'm here. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Babe. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Kimchi. It's kind of working. Welcome. I am KevinlyFather, your Kevin Williams, and we're coming to you live from the TBD studios. It looks like we're on YouTube. YouTube is saying I can't be on YouTube, but here we are. So, uncanceled. KevinlyFather. So we're going to watch Trump from yesterday, and I have not seen this. I was busy doing, life yesterday. Hello, Marcy. Marcy has generously offered to give me an old computer of hers, which isn't really even very old. It's just a PC. It's not a Mac. She's pretty, what's the word? Bougie. She can only do the Mac. No, we love Marcy, and Marcy is very generously offered to that. Hey, Trevor. Hey, Jane. Hey, Jojo. Good to see everybody here. Congratulations, producer Joanna, on being first. Hi, Jennifer, if I haven't said hi already. Let's get right into it, guys. If there's any other news going on today, then great. This is so irrelevant, but I love how the Republican Party is tearing itself apart. And do you guys remember back during the second impeachment where I said, no. Let him remain so that he can run again, because this will tear the party apart. Well, yesterday he pretty much confirmed that he thinks he might kind of, sort of, maybe run again. He did that on the Maria Bartichoroma show. Here's the thing. It's a one-page form. It's one page to run for president. But he's like, oh, I can't say anything because, of election fundraising laws and that sort of thing. Nah, it's just nonsense. It would take no time whatsoever. It's one page on the FEC website. It's called Form 2. You can go look at it yourself. It's very simple to fill out. They're dragging their feet on this, and I don't know. I don't think he ever wants to be president again. He just loves the praise and attention, and oh, it's so unfair, and it's a lot less work if he's not actually running for president. He's just out there having fun. Speaking of fun, let's see what happens. Holy crap. This says that it's an hour and 36 minutes long. I hope it's not that long. Guys, did he go on for 90 minutes yesterday? I don't know if anybody else watched. Hi, Allison. Hey, at Random. Good to see you. Let's and if you don't want to watch this, I totally understand that, because a lot of you may have seen it before. If you don't have anything else to do on a Sunday afternoon, and I really hope many people haven't seen it before. Anyway, let's get right into it.
What anybody. So I want to just pay my respects. CPAC is really, what a job they've done, and I'm thrilled to be back in the heart of Texas.
CPAC is really, what a job they've done. Finish a sentence.
With the proud conservative patriots who are courageous.
Oh, okay, hold on. C-SPAN, my computer and my mouse are both giving me hassles, and now C-SPAN, which is what we're watching right now, C-SPAN is going to do its pausing every 30 seconds thing for no apparent reason. And I've written to C-SPAN and I've said, why do you do that? Why? Why? And no answer. So hold on, let's see if we can... See, my mouse is frozen too. I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of jerking all over the place here. Let's see if we can find it on YouTube or something so that we don't have to sit through that. Hal Sparks is right now. You guys can go just watch Hal Sparks. He's probably got new content. Oh, wait. He's watching this.
Plan.
There we go.
Louis Gohmert would agree with that.
There we go. We can just watch Hal watching Trump, and we're set. Where's he getting his feed from? Let's see if we can figure it out.
Louis Gohmert, I have to be careful with him.
Yeah, he might spit a tooth into your soup.
Don't say I said it, but...
That's exactly what I was going to say. Damn it. Now I can't do it. You guys can, though, in the chat room. There's going to be somebody who hasn't seen this yet, and they're going to be joining us, and they're going to be like, oh my God, tooth in his soup. That guy in the chat room's hilarious. Let's CPAC Trump. See if now what happened with Right Side Broadcasting that has been broadcasting the entire speeches. As soon as the speeches are over for the day, they delete the feed so that YouTube can't come back on them and give them a strike for things like anti-vaxxing and all the other stuff. Let's see if we can find something. That's 8 minutes. That's 21 minutes. Don Jr. Wow. The Trump speech is not even on YouTube. That is absolutely amazing and wonderful. Let's, you know where it's going to be. I bet it'll be, let's go to Newsmax. Wait, my keyboard just won't let me. Come on. Sorry, guys. Okay, we might be going back to C-SPAN and have the, like with the pauses, I got a hockey game at like 7:30, I think. It's 5 o'clock now. I can't do an hour and a half plus pauses. Newsmax. How's everybody doing, by the way? How are you guys? And there we go. My keyboard's doing that thing where you press it, and there's maybe a 1 in 5 chance of that letter getting into the computer. Okay, let's see. So this is, see if they've got a nice replay of the Trump speech. I imagine they broadcast it live. I don't know. I didn't watch it. Platinum Newsfront America Politics. Here we go. And there's no link to the video. Okay, Rumble it is. Let's go to Rumble. No, Rumble we can't pause and stuff. I don't know if we can. Okay, we're gonna watch this on C-SPAN. Oh, hold on, it came up. Okay, there we go. Rumble. Oh, enter. There it is. Okay. Let's see if we can search for Trump speech here. Trump. Oh yeah, this is. Oh, Trump was the first option anyway. So let's go to Trump here. And live, Donald Trump in Wellington, Sarasota. Trump slams Wellington, Ohio. Come on, give me the. How about last week? Date last week. 2:57. I'm just looking for the full thing. Here we go. I think we might have it. And I on Rumble, I don't know whether we can pause it or not, but we'll give it a shot. And there's no volume. And no volume. There we go. Okay. Let's see if we can pause.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And pause. Thank you.
To Matt, what a job.
Okay, cool. I think we're good here. So we're watching this on Rumble. If you send me a shipping label, yes, I will be sending you a shipping label, Marcy. Somebody said, Joanne, it's so strange. I constantly don't see your posts in the YouTube chat. I see them in the blue chat only. Just you. Everyone else comes through in the YouTube chat. That's producer Joanna pays extra for that. She's extremely generous. So thanks to producer Joanna. Ding. I don't have my bell at the TBD studios. I don't know where it ended up. We'll dig up the bell at some point. Jennifer says, hope to hang out and chat, but apparently family needs me. Thank you, Jennifer, for dropping by and making our lives richer and watching the 8 seconds of Trump that you did. That's frankly more than enough Trump for one day. So you've done your duty, Jennifer. Go play with your family. Okay, I'm really trying to make this work with my mouse. I can. There it is.
Mercedes have done. CPAC is a hot item. You got a lot of people standing outside trying to get in. Would anybody like to give up their slot?
Okay, this is going to be annoying because this happened to us last time on Rumble too. The audio and the video are not synced. Nothing I can do about that, guys. So I'll give you guys a choice. Would you rather watch C-SPAN, where it pauses for no particular reason for 4 or 5 seconds every 30 seconds a minute, or watch it with the lips not synced to the sound? Because that is really annoying to some people. And if there's somebody out there who cannot stand that, we'll go watch it with the pauses. Guys, pauses or lips? It's your choice. Let me know in the chat room. Because this is not about me. This is your broadcast. We didn't lose. You lost. Really, I mean, I didn't lose. I mean, I won. I mean, you guys won. I mean, you and me, all of us, we all won. Lips, you'd rather watch it without the pauses? Lips? Okay, so we're going to do, okay, hey, UN, Owen, by the way, nice to see you here. Here we go. Well, let's do it this way then, without the pauses.
So I wanted to
Michelle goes both ways, so we're good there.
just pay my respects. CPAC is...
Okay, super soft on the audio, so I'm going to pump that up. Here we go. Wow. This is what prep work is for. Here's the thing. I was doing the prep work. I was trying to get this all working, and then YouTube was saying, no, you're not broadcasting today. And I'm like, come on. And then my keyboard was saying, no, you're not going to say come on to YouTube. because I'm not going to tell YouTube that you're trying to say come on to YouTube. And then finally, I got it to the point where I had the C-SPAN feed up, and I had a thumbnail made and everything with Trump hugging the flag. So anyway, I'm broadcasting because there's nothing more I can do with the keyboard. So now here we are. Just be careful he doesn't spit a tooth in your soup. That's some of my prep work. What I do is I watch Hal Sparks first, and then I broadcast. Cause he's got a tooth. And you might have soup. I just had some pho. I've been having, because I bought at the beginning of the pandemic. I bought a whole bunch of groceries because remember we're like, we don't know, we might not be able to go shopping. Oh, we might get shut down. It's going to be a lockdown. So I went to Costco and grocery outlet, and I just bought a bunch of stuff that I knew would keep for a long time because, again, I didn't know what would happen, but I didn't fear the worst. I just expected. I didn't expect the worst. What'd I do? I was preparing for the worst. And it's stuff that, like, I bought a 12-pack of Kraft macaroni and cheese. I probably have 9 or 10 of them still left because over the course of a year, I might eat 1 or 2 Kraft macaroni and cheese, but they last forever. And what I'll do is I'll make some good pasta and throw that in there as well. Just sort of expand the pasta. I mean, pasta's pasta for the most part, right? Anyway, so now, another move later, I still have these boxes, I don't know, 12 or 15 servings of pho. You might say I'm the pho king. And if you saw me walking down the street or saw me on the YouTube, you'd be like, there's Pho King Kevin. So go ahead and say that if you feel like it, because it's absolutely accurate. I am the Pho King. That one. Ha! It worked. Here we go. Oh boy, can I make the mouse go to where I want it to?
It's really what a job they've done, and I'm thrilled to be back in the heart of Texas with the proud conservative patriots who are courageously
now he's too loud.
Leading the battle.
Trevor says ramen noodles and cream of mushroom soup was my college gourmet meal. It's true.
To frankly save our country. That's what it's about. For a year before the election, the fake news media said Texas was in play.
Yeah.
It's in play. You know what in play means? Like it's close.
Yes, everybody knows what in play means. And it could go either way.
They were right, except it was only in play for me.
It's not what in play means. Literally everyone in the audience you just asked what in play means knows what in play means. You obviously don't know what in play means. In fact, in play means the exact opposite of what you just said.
For me and you, actually.
Oh, it's for them. Like I was just saying. It's not I didn't fake lose the election. We lost the fake lose. We lost the election but won it.
No, it was in play for me. They said the polls have closed in Texas. Donald Trump has won Texas. You know, it was like, but how long did we listen to it? It was in play. It will never be in play if we have the right candidate. This state is never going to be in play. This is a very, very special place.
Well, hopefully.
It is. And
there goes the audio.
We're going to bring back your energy. I told you this was going to happen. I told you. Actually, Texas believed us. With the help of everyone here today, we will defeat the radical left, the socialist Marxists, and the critical race theorists.
Oh, yeah. Oh, those critical race theorists.
Whoever thought would...
I can't tell you the number of times. Like yesterday, I was we had some tennis, and then there were a few people who were like gathered together talking about the tennis. Everybody's vaccinated, or they've had COVID previously, and they should get vaccinated. Well, anyway, basically, keeping our distance. There was no kissing involved. And I got probably 3 out of the 8 people there, for a living, they were critical race theorists. So that was interesting to see. I mean, because usually it's far more than that. Usually 5 out of 8 people gathered in the Los Angeles area are critical race theorists.
Even using that term, we will secure our...
Hi, Blind. Good to see you.
Our borders. We will stop left-wing cancel culture. We will restore...
We will stop cancel culture. Again, we will stop Cancel culture. This is, by the way, 8 seconds after he just said, we will put an end to critical race theorists. But we will stop the cancel culture.
Free speech and fair election.
Honestly, I would reckon to say, take away the journalists. Everyone in that room is a fucking idiot. All of them. Everyone. You cannot sit there and support this and not when I say journalists, I mean the people who have to work there, the camera people, etc., turning off their lights constantly. Look at those red lights going off. You can't. It's sheer stupidity and hypocrisy. It's stupid hypocrisy. It's hypocritical stupidity. It's critical race theoristy.
Elections, and we will make America great again. It's very simple.
I thought we'd already done that, but I guess.
Very simple.
Standing ovation. Standing ovation. Yeah, it's a phrase that doesn't mean anything. America's not great right now. America sucks. Wait. Hey, you better not sit down when that flag is up. You better not sit down. America sucks. We're terrible. Sit down.
From the very beginning, the people in this room have been some of the staunchest and fiercest supporters of our incredible movement, the greatest political movement in the history of our country. And
Don't say you're just getting going. Don't say you're just getting started. Don't say this is only the beginning. Don't say any of those stupid phrases, because this has been going on that's 2015, which is 38 years ago now.
And I can say that, and nobody ever even challenges me. Look at all.
Who's challenging you? What are you talking about? Is it the fake news media? Are they going to be challenging you on that? The greatest movement? I've had some bowel movements, and this one is by far.
All those fake news people back there, they don't.
What? They don't challenge you on this movement idea? This is the largest Kashinga in history. No one's ever seen a Kashinga like this. Nobody challenges me on the size of this Kashinga.
Challenges.
Hi, Stephanie. They're booing the media anyway.
Don't even challenge.
They don't even challenge him. Yeah.
I want to personally thank each and every one of you for your incredible support and your support.
We do not have time. We do not have time to personally thank each and every one of them. So move on.
Support of CPAC. You never stopped fighting for me, and I will never, ever stop fighting for you. Promise.
Also, I'm not announcing whether I'm running or not. So, I'll fight for you, but just not in a way that actually has any effect. But I'll never stop doing that. Promise you.
I especially want to thank two wonderful and really extraordinary people who make this incredible event possible. You know them almost as well as I do, Matt and Mercedes Schlapp. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Stand up, please.
Can I fast forward with my keyboard? Nope.
Thank you. Great job.
It's hard for me to determine what my keyboard controls do on Rumble because my keyboard is not functioning currently, so I don't know. I was going to criticize Rumble for not being as good as YouTube, but this speech isn't on YouTube. That astounds me. This is my astounded face. A Trump CPAC speech nowhere on YouTube. And I don't know if people had posted it and it got taken down, or people have posted this sort of thing before and are like, I'm not touching this anymore. Because you end up with copyright strikes and you end up this and that and the other thing. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I'll leave this up, but I'm not going to just put up the speech end to end. I could capture it on C-SPAN, put it up, C-SPAN totally allows you to do that. That's not any kind of copyright strike or whatever. I'm not going to do that because I'm not currently monetized on YouTube. So what's the incentive, YouTube?
You've taken it to a whole...
Speaking of me being demonetized, if you enjoy this sort of content, please send me some money. All of these links right here. All of them. So,
new level. I appreciate it. Everybody appreciates it. Thank you. It's true.
I don't know what they yelled. Did anybody hear what that was? I don't even... Can I go back just a little bit? I can't. I don't... Hi, Cindy. You're right on time for this.
We all won. We all won.
Oh, you won. Okay. You won. Trump won. That's what it was. They yelled, Trump won. And once again, you all won. Really, you all won. So everyone's votes were stolen. Everyone at CPAC won, and all their votes were stolen. And there were suitcases under the tables. All of it. All of it. And people were allowed to vote that should have been, but we didn't want to vote. That's not fair.
Also with us is a true...
Did Trump... I saw the Chiron from Fox. Did Fox broadcast this live? Because we can watch it on the Fox feed. Did they do that? Is this... That would be over multiple programs. It would get messy. I probably don't have it. Let's move on.
True Texas conservative and a real leader. Where is he? Ken Paxton. Where is he?
Oh, my God. Ken
look
Paxton.
at that.
Ken Paxton, who's currently under indictment. Ken Paxton, who sued Pennsylvania, Michigan, etc., trying to nullify in the Supreme Court 20 million Americans' votes. That's Ken Paxton.
And he is.
He is.
He's fast on the draw. We love Ken. Thank you, Ken, very much. We appreciate you being here.
All right.
We're also grateful to be joined.
Okay, so USA.
He's going back home to Mom. Mom is not a...
The protester yelled something or something? I don't know.
Mom is a big supporter of ours, by the way. He's going to have a rough night.
And when your mom dies,
We're
do me a
grateful
favor.
to be joined as well.
Do me a favor and have her vote for me. Just fill in that signature. It's so easy to do.
By a wonderful, wonderful, not only political person, but a wonderful person, Governor Christie Noem.
Hi, Caroline.
Thank you, Christie. Great job. And we have many, many members of Congress here. Could I ask our great Congressmen and women to stand up, please, right now?
That wasn't me.
Good. What a group.
Okay, let's go past the introductions.
For generations, the American Conservative Union has helped lead the charge to defend our values, protect our country, and preserve our glorious American heritage. You see, they're taking our heritage away. That's not...
You can't take someone's heritage away. It exists, one way or the other. Heritage, by the way, has just become a code name for racism. So he's just the worst reader. This is second grade level reading stuff. I don't know how I don't know how. Because he was on TV or something. But if there was a left-wing equivalent of this, or a centrist equivalent of this, who had that much difficulty reading basic sentences, I don't know if I could support, and I won't support, I will never support, that person running for office like never before. No one's ever seen something like this before. A lot of people are saying, why doesn't everybody in this audience at some point go like, he really can't read. Like he's struggling up there. It's as if he sees the word and then his mind takes a little longer to process it. He's really, really stupid. I don't know. I don't know how you can do it.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And we were doing so well until the rigged election happened to come along.
Well, I mean, it's constitutionally mandated to come along. So, I don't know, come along is the right phrase.
Doing really well. But today that heritage is under threat
Heritage!
like never before.
Is it?
Who would have thought this could have happened? Even Bernie Sanders is saying, I never thought this could happen. He's mild by comparison. In a matter of mere months, Joe Biden has brought our country to the brink of ruin right here in Texas.
Really? Record stock markets, inflation is going lower, job markets are up, job availability is up, household income is up, gas prices are coming down again. I don't pay for gas. I have a hydrogen car. The Green New Deal would make it possible for all of us to have hydrogen cars. It won't. I'm just saying. But yeah, no, we're on the brink of ruin. Brink of ruin. Look out. USA is about to declare bankruptcy under Biden. I'm just sort of going on here while I'm trying to get my mouse over the arrow. Click.
Texas, we are the epicenter of a border and migration crisis unlike anything anyone has ever seen before in the history of our country. At the same time, they have totally obliterated your energy industry. I told you.
Really? Exxon's done? Is it? Shell is out of business now? Because that's what obliteration means. That they would just be gone completely. Not even shell companies, not Chapter 11, just obliterated. I don't know how much obliteration agrees with record profits for last quarter because gas prices have been so high, because they realize demand is up and there's a lot of money in the economy right now because under Joe Biden, the economy is fucking booming. So, record profits, record stock prices, or obliterated. You take your choice with the oil companies. It's up to you, really. It's a matter of interpretation.
Under my administration, we achieved a historic reduction in illegal immigration. Never happened before to that extent, and not even
That was COVID.
close. We ended the horrible catch and release, where we catch a
Catch them and then release them? Is that what catch and release means?
criminal
Yeah.
and release him into our country. We actually said, nope, it's called Stay in Mexico, and it worked very well, and we had the support.
Two completely different things. Okay, my keyboard is... I'm sorry, guys. I should just let it run and walk away.
Of Mexico. Who else could do that? And you have a great president of Mexico, a friend of mine. He's done a great job. We're on opposite
And his name?
sides of the spectrum, but we got along great, and he's been terrific, and I appreciate it. We stopped asylum fraud.
No?
And we struck critical agreements with other countries to stop illegal immigration. We called it, in fact, remain in Mexico. You don't come here, get released, and you never see these people again. They don't.
Not criminals. Those are asylum seekers. 100% legal. 100%. And we need the manual labor. You know how you see all these signs saying, oh yeah, nobody wants to work anymore? You know who wants to work for minimum wage? The asylum seekers. And once they're asylum seekers, they can work in the United States. They make up 60% of the agricultural industry in the United States. But when you get served at Red Robin next time, check out the kitchen, check out who's in the back, see what language they're speaking, very likely Spanish. They make this country move. So for all of those shop owners who are saying Biden is slowing down the economy because nobody wants to work anymore because they're all getting paid not to work, Trump is trying to keep your workers away.
They don't come back. They say, come back in 3 years for a court case.
And at the same time, you cannot argue against that when you've been saying for years that these illegal workers, many of them asylum seekers, 100% legal, they're keeping the wages for construction down because they're willing to do construction for less.
Case. Only the really not smart ones, I want to be nice. Only the really not smart ones come back.
Super nice to call somebody not smart. That's what I was doing when I was saying that the CPAC audience was comprised almost completely of idiots. I was being nice.
Which is about 1%. We reduced
1%. Every time I've heard this number, it goes lower and lower. The number actually of the asylum seekers who show up for the actual court dates is in the 90s. Not 1%, in the 90s. Many of these cases are settled long before they ever get to court. The courts are way backed up. The Trump administration cut funding to the courts rather than increasing the funding to the courts to speed the system up and take care of the issue. No, they cut funding. And so the court dates take longer and longer, but there are many ways to mediate this before you actually get to a court case. And some people go back home. A lot of people went back home during the last administration as the economy improved in their home country, or once COVID came around. A lot of people, like myself, I went back home. And in my case, it was Seattle. It was still in the country.
Drugs pouring across our border by the highest percentage ever.
It's not true.
History of our country. It's not just people. We shut down the migrant caravans. You haven't seen those caravans. You get ready because they're coming up right now. You've been watching them.
They were coming up, remember? Back after the election, all these caravans coming up. That was the buzzword again. What happened? Waiting for the caravans. Still waiting for Antifa to throw soup cans. Once they do, I sure as hell won't go see Louis Gohmert. That's a callback to earlier in the broadcast if you were with us.
Come through, and in those caravans you have some deadly people. We dealt a crippling blow to MS-13. We deported criminal aliens by the thousands and thousands and thousands, and we built almost 500 miles of border wall, the exact wall that the Border Patrol wanted. I thought we could use nice concrete plank.
Because I'm not smart.
Just knock it out. They said, sir.
I'm being nice, by the way. When you say someone's not smart, I'm being nice. I'm too nice to President Trump when it comes right down to it.
Sir, we want steel, concrete, and rebar. And it has to be wired, sir. So we can have all the drones, the Democrat. Remember they wanted drones?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I said, drones are not going to stop people. Do you remember the statement during the campaign? Two things, everything's obsolete like 2 days after they come up with it nowadays, right? Computers, everything obsolete. They
it isn't.
Better one. Two things, right? What are they? Wheels and
Wheels
walls.
and
they
rope.
Never change.
What about rope?
In 1,000 years, you'll say wheels and walls. Walls work.
I will be dead. But also rope and buckets. Half shells coconuts also work. Never be obsolete.
Walls work. Just ask Nancy Pelosi. She has a nice wall around her house. Now the Biden administration has turned the border into the single greatest disaster in American history, and perhaps in world history. Nobody's ever seen a border like this. Other countries don't have a border like this. Illegal border crossings are up over 1,000% from last year. Think of this.
Yeah, think of this. Marcy just sent me a link to some facts about asylum seekers. 92% of individuals who filed asylum claims attended their court hearings between 2013 2017. The stats are a little bit old on this. This is from Human Rights First, which looks like it's an asylum type of website. Not asylum in terms of crazy, but asylum in terms of international law for refugees. So this is all there. You can check it out. humanrightsfirst.org. 92%.
Think of this. For the last 3 months in a row, more illegal alien minors have arrived than any other month in United States history. This is the major
we used to not keep track of it, by the way, but okay.
Pipeline for MS-13. These are the worst gang members, they say, anywhere in the world.
Yeah, they say that, especially the toddlers that are dropped over your wall that no one can climb over.
They bring recruits to every state in our country. They run it like a business, but not with me. We were throwing them the hell out of here so fast.
No, children coming across the border were treated exactly the same under the last administration. In fact, children coming across with parents were separated from their adults, and we created orphans. Last count, there were still about 400 orphans that the Trump administration created, that the Biden administration is trying to reunite with a family member.
ICE.
Baby.
ICE, the great patriots. Tough people, ICE. And they've been disrespected. We can't have them disrespected. Border Patrol. Brandon's here someplace probably. Oh, where the hell is Brandon? He is so great. What a job he's done. Yes, thank you. Thank you. ICE and Border Patrol. Overall illegal youth arrives and arrivals are up nearly 500%. Think of that. And they're being resettled in cities and towns all across the United States at
exactly like my administration.
Taxpayers' expense. And the people in those cities and towns have no idea that they're coming. The taxpayers will also be forced to pay.
I don't know what just happened. Is that might just be a weird camera fade going on with the setup, but it kind of looked like that was cut a little bit, but it was weird. It was awkward. Here we go.
For relatives to be flown from Central America, join them. Did you ever hear of chain migration? You come in.
Yeah, after the Trump administration came into power and you called family migration chain migration.
Illegally and will also.
You know, but I mean, we heard of it before with like Ivanka and, no, what's her name? The other one, Melania.
So bring your mother, your father, your grandparents.
Melania's mother and father, exactly.
Your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles. Anybody else want to come in? Come on in. We had one on the West Side Highway. He was driving rapidly down the West Side Highway at a very excessive speed. New York City, Hudson River, beautiful new park. And he saw people.
You lived in New York. We understand. Times Square, Ray's Original Pizza. Not Ray's on 45th. Ray's on 2nd West. That's the original Ray's. Battery Park, the Moma Lisa, the New York. A beautiful place. Driving too fast down a road. So fast. It was a walkway, by the way. I don't know if he's going to get there, but it wasn't the West Side Highway. He started driving down a path.
Working out.
Path. Goes to New Jersey. New Jersey, just across the river. A lot of people don't know the Statue of Liberty is actually New Jersey. Ellis Island is in New Jersey. New Jersey, the Generals, XFL, USFL, USA.
A big group of people. And he decided to make a right turn. And he killed many and he maimed many. People go out because they want to
he did
put
make a
themselves
right turn.
In shape. And they end up going back home missing a leg, missing a couple of arms, or dead. That's what happened. And he had the right to bring people in with him, his family, his mother and father, and his brother.
Okay, did they do this? He's got the story backwards. I want to say that this guy, the terrorist who killed people on the pathway, I'm pretty sure he got here by family migration. I don't think that he brought his parents in, etc. And I don't know of anything that any of his relatives have done that has been criminal activity. So I'm not, like, I think he's just taking the concept of this chain migration and how evil it is and extending it, if you will.
And he had many that he brought in, but we took very good care of him. But this administration doesn't do that. Many of these children, for the first time ever, it's a terrible thing is happening to them, are on suicide watch. They end up in a place that they have no idea where it is.
Yeah, they're kids. Kids don't know where anything is. We're sending you to Chattanooga. Not Chattanooga. Why can't I go to Little Rock, Arkansas? I'm familiar with the territory around Little Rock, Arkansas. I mean, the topography alone was something we studied in El Salvador.
No idea. Not the border. It's all, our whole country has become a border. Meanwhile, ICE removals are at the lowest level ever. And they are great people. They're patriots and they're tough. The agency has been functionally shut down. All of America is now one giant sanctuary city. We were fighting sanctuary cities.
We'll just call it a sanctuary country. That's staring at you in the face. America is now a sanctuary country. Boo. I mean, that's a buzzword. Go with that. You're welcome.
And doing very well. They're meant for criminal aliens. That's what they're meant for. Under our administration, we sent a very different message to the coyotes.
I wish I could go back because I wanted to see what the hell he said there. Biden announcement today is they won't detain pregnant or nursing women anymore. Isn't it about time that we started dealing with pregnant women harshly?
Human traffickers, child smugglers, vicious criminal cartels, and savage MS-13 gang members. When I was president, illegal alien criminals knew that if they trespassed across our border, they would be caught, they would be detained, and they would be sent to jail, or we would send them the hell back to where they came from. We created the most secure border in all of American history by far. Biden's border crisis is also helping drive.
By the way, in 2019, the numbers were very similar to what they are now. Numbers went down last month I just briefly looked at them and I'm like, oh, that's better. Oh, that's lower as well. Oh, number of children in custody, also lower. Oh, number of children coming across the border. Oh, the number of people being separated from their families, also lower. It's all good, all good.
An unprecedented crime wave. And you see the crime wave.
Started under you.
Even without this, you see, all in Democrat-run cities.
Complete bullshit. Take a look at any Republican-run large city, and the same thing is happening. And remember, this all started under Trump's America.
Please.
Crime, by the way, the rate in the rise of homicides in the large cities in America is actually slowed since last year during COVID under Trump. Homicides in the major cities in America, cities with, 500,000 or above, whatever they measure that, up 40% in 2020. So far this year, up 25%.
Remember that. The bloodshed and
I want shrimp tacos, Stephanie.
Violence in these cities is reaching epidemic proportions. Homicides are up 42% in Los Angeles, 37% in Philadelphia, 68%.
Do it, but down compared to 2020. Little caveat there.
In Atlanta, and over 500% in Portland over this time last year.
Portland has very, very few homicides. So for them to go 5% or 500% might be 5 homicides. Might have been 1 during this time last year. He doesn't tell us May through June 2020. No, it's just this time.
Think of that, Portland.
Okay.
What they
could have been 1 mass shooting.
Did to Portland, and nothing happens to Antifa.
What are you talking about? That when somebody in Antifa killed a guy in Portland, the U.S. Marshals found him and shot him dead. Don't tell me nothing happens. He's dead.
And nothing happens to
dead
BLM, but to people.
Just say Blum.
People that are patriots or.
Eve says, do any real stats, Ari, if and who are criminals entering, like if they have a rap sheet? I can type, keyboard broken. Welcome to my world, Eve. Should probably scan the comments before I decide I'm just going to read one. I don't.
Conservatives or Republicans, they stay in.
Do we know if that guy was Antifa? It is believed that he was at random. I can't confirm that because when they shot him, he didn't have his membership card on his body.
Jails for extended.
I should have said on his person because that's cop talk. Cop talk with KevinlyFather. Tracy says, I grew up with a guy who was killed in Portland. I'm sorry, Tracy.
Extended periods of time, and they destroy their lives. But we're not going to take it anymore. In New York City, crime is out of control. It's at record levels with nobody being prosecuted except, of course, innocent Republicans are being prosecuted. The Democrats know their policies on crime are so unpopular, so radical, so crazy, they are now trying to pretend they never led the defund the police movement in the first place. Disinformation. We never said defund the police. You know who did it? The Republicans did it.
What place? What place are they defunding?
That's what they do. It's called disinformation. How about Russia?
You are an expert on disinformation, so I got to hand it to you.
Trump had to do with Russia. He loves Russia.
That's what everyone says. Trump had to do with Russia. He had to do with it.
He loves Putin. He loves everybody. Turned out to be the Democrats, right? After 2 years,
Yeah.
they figured, gee.
No.
And after a while, people actually...
After 4 years, then when you were gone, because nobody wanted to lose their job and specifically announce it, it turns out that, yeah, Kilimnik was a Russian agent, a Russian intelligence agent, and your guy, Paul Manafort, who you pardoned, by the way, your campaign manager gave them proprietary information from your campaign so that the Russians could then target and attack via social media certain voters, mostly of the black persuasion, in order to suppress their vote in key demographic areas where you won by a razor slim margin. I mean, apart from that, no, there was no Russian collusion.
believe this stuff. But now they're saying defund the police. We didn't say it. It was the Republicans. It's called disinformation.
No, it wasn't about saying. That's the difference. There were some Democrats and Antifa and others. By the way, Antifa hates Biden. There were some progressives, some Democrats, maybe some Republicans too, I don't know, who said defund the police. Republicans actually voted against funding the police. Okay? The COVID rescue bill, $360 billion of that was designated for, and this is, a third of $1 trillion for cities, states, municipalities, because that's who pays your local police officer. Your sheriff is paid by the county. Your policeman is paid by the city. Your state patrol officer is paid by the state. Hey, you guys are hurting right now? Please take this money and use a bunch of it to hire new officers, to train the officers, to get them the specific body armor to need, to give them mental wellness help. Take this money and do that with you. How many Republicans voted to back the blue in that case? Zero. Not a single fucking member of the GOP voted for the funding for the police. That's a fact. You look it up.
Information, you have to be wise to it. It's very simple. If you support defunding the police, vote for the radical left Democrats, and you see what's happening.
No. All the Democrats voted for funding the police. You can say all you want. It's about your actions.
To the cities where they defunded the police. There's never been anything like it. If you want more police and more cops on the streets, vote for America First Republicans.
Well, no, that was in the bill. That's hiring police. And that's what Biden is saying now. Use that money, hire police. If you have a surplus from this money, please keep it. Hire the police. Hire more police officers.
Or let's put it very simply, vote for MAGA. Make America great again. MAGA. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA.
MAGA, MAGA, MAGA.
The same far-left Democrats who are defunding police are also leading an all-out crusade to strip you, the law-abiding citizens of America, of your God-given Second Amendment rights. I told you again, I told you. And I preserved that right 100%. And you think that was easy? It wasn't easy. There was so much pressure. Republicans.
He's talking complete nonsense. He preserved that right. There was not a single bill that got passed in either the House or the Senate to take away these rights.
Must never waver in demanding that the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Can't let it happen. Thank you. Thank you very much. But it's not only the Second Amendment that the left is.
The director of this at RSBN is just all over the place with his oh, what if I can fade like him in the background so it looked like a high school yearbook picture from 1980?
Want to destroy. They are hard at work to abolish the First Amendment as well. Probably all amendments when you get right down to it. Why not?
Really?
The radical left and big tech.
Why not? Because they're in favor of a lot of the amendments. Like this 14th, for example. Equal protection under the law. Can you imagine that?
Attack on free.
By the way, I don't know why no one is using the equal protection under the law for voting rights. That's in the U.S. Constitution. And when one state allows you to vote by mail and another state says, no, you can't vote by mail, that's not equal protection under the law. That's a violation of the 14th. Come on, lawyers. Get on it.
Free speech is unlawful, it's unconstitutional, and it is completely un-American. To protect the constitutional rights and liberties of every citizen, this week I filed a major class action. A lot of people are joining. Yep, a big class action lawsuit against the big tech giants. We are suing Facebook, Twitter, and Google.
In the wrong jurisdiction, and we will be thrown out because we have no standing. In the user agreements that you agree to when you sign up for YouTube, Twitter, etc., if you sign up for Facebook, it says, hey, you want to bring suit against us? You got to go to arbitration, and it's got to be in Northern California. So what do? They filed suit in Florida. And when Maria Bartiromo asked about it, well, I live in Southern Florida, so it's basic contract law. You can't do that. So it's very, very likely that if it is an actual lawsuit and it does get in front of a judge in Florida, they're going to say, you have no standing. This is not the jurisdiction. I can't even hear this if I wanted to. You agreed to a contract.
And to show you the arrogance, I was just talking to Mercedes, I guess. Matt, you announced that they're trying to take...
Josh is right here. I'm going to need a nice, long, aggressive game of tennis after this. I'm actually going to go play hockey, so I'm set. And I can't play tennis right now because I broke a tennis string today because I'm just kind of player I am. It was kind of funny, though, because I said, like, normally, especially if you're playing a match or whatever, you have to hit it like safety shots because you don't want to hit it out. And I'm not that good of a tennis player. I've only been playing during the pandemic. But I like to, every once in a while, wail on the ball. And this morning was just practice playing around. So, okay, I'm going to, this is going to go out. I'm going to really try and hit the ball hard. Okay, hit it. Okay, service. And then, whoom! And the ball just goes wacky. And I'm like, doink? Kind of a sound is doink. And I look at my tennis racket and I have a broken string. Normally, the reaction should be, damn it, I broke my string. That's another $20. That's another $25, however much it got. But me, I'm like, hey, I broke a string, Dad. Did you see? Mom, did you see? I broke a string. It's like my kids when they were little, if they ever broke a hockey stick, they're like, Dad, my hockey stick broke. Yeah, hockey sticks are like $150, kid. But good job.
This incredible, I think much more than 50% of our country, I really do, because there's no way they can be 50% with defund the police, sanctuary cities, and all of the crazy things that they espouse. There's no way.
Espouse?
But I heard they just filed.
Espouse? Who is this?
Where they want to take everybody down.
Everybody down.
Honestly, they're going too far.
Go too far.
Going too far.
Go too far.
They're so spoiled. You know,
I
it's
love
like
too
a spoiled,
far.
spoiled child. I want that toy, Dad, but I also want this one, this one, this one. Eventually, bad things happen.
I like Eric and Donald and Ivanka. Like those kind of bad things.
We are taking Mark Zuckerbucks, Jack.
Zuckerberg, Zuckerbucks. Zuck rhymes with bucks, you fuck. I don't know who Zuckerberg is. Does anybody call him Mark Zuckerberg? It's Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, man. Trump cannot tell a joke without zucking.
Dorsey and the other Silicon
Am I wrong?
Valley
Am I wrong? Does anybody call him Zuckerberg?
billionaires to federal court, and we will keep on fighting until we have stopped this assault on our liberties and until we have restored the sacred right to freedom of speech for every single American. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Could anybody believe we're even talking about this subject 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Who would have believed it? In addition to their malicious attacks on free speech, these Silicon Valley tyrants are also attacking our democracy itself. The big tech election interference in 2020 was an outrageous assault upon our republic and upon the American voter. Terrible thing has happened to our country. We're being laughed at all over the world. Our election has been studied by other countries. They're not going to do it that way. Mark Zuckerberg alone spent $400 million on a...
Did he just call him Zuckerberg again? It's Zuckerberg, right? You guys are pretty delayed because of the YouTube issue right now, but it...
It's an outrageous assault upon our republic and upon the American voter. Terrible thing has happened to our country. We're being laughed at all over the world. Our election has been studied by other countries. They're not going to do it that way. Mark Zuckerberg alone spent $400 million.
I've never noticed that. I guess he does call him Zuckerberg. He's the one person on the planet who calls him Zuckerberg. Unless, I may be wrong. It's Mark Zuckerberg, yeah?
Dollars on election meddling. In virtually all of the key swing states, he funded unmanned and unprotected drop boxes that were deployed in Democrat-run cities and heavily Democrat precincts to scoop up ballots which were supposedly 94, 95, 96% for Joe Biden because he campaigned so well from his basement.
Well, he beat you, so...
Biden did substantially better in the swing states than Barack Hussein Obama with the black population. Now, even though he did terribly throughout the country, but in those 5 places, he did very well. You know about that, Louis, right?
That's actually not accurate, but go on.
Did five places, he did very well. Beat Obama with the black population. I don't think so. But they practiced that and countless other schemes to illegitimately and illegally boost the Democrat vote. The drop boxes were often very late. Where are they? Where are they? What happened? They're supposed to be here. They're not. I can tell you what happened. Sometimes late by days and show.
Then tell us what happened then. Why don't you tell us what happened? And why don't you show us the evidence of it? And then finally, we'll have some evidence of potential voter fraud. But here's the problem. Once those ballots get there, if they're valid ballots, that's fine. They're valid ballots. They were dropped in drop boxes, which is legal. Even in Wisconsin, where, we can't have the drop boxes. The Supreme Court of Wisconsin said, okay, this is completely moot. That you have no standing, first of all. Secondly, you should have complained about this if you wanted to well before the election because you have plenty of time. It's over. You can't. There's a fundamental posting in law that says if you knew about this and you didn't do anything when you could have done something, and that's just not a spur of the moment, but over a period of months or a year that you knew this was going to happen and you didn't say anything until you were affected by it negatively. Sorry.
Showing up to the vote count.
I didn't do that. I don't know why it's paused. Oh, this is the actual feed. You can see on the bottom. You guys can't see it, but let's see if I can show you. So on the bottom, nope.
Okay, for Biden or the radical left,
okay,
Democrats,
there we go.
they just suppressed. In the most horrendous example, the oldest newspaper in America, and one of my favorites, it's a great one. The vote count.
The oldest what? Okay, so this is paused. This is their feed. We'll just wait it out, I guess. Latches, by the way, is the name of the legal term for you could have done something, you should have done something.
The radical left Democrats, they just suppressed. In the most horrendous example, the oldest newspaper in America, and one of my favorites, it's a great one, the New York Post broke one of the biggest scandals ever to emerge in a presidential election, providing extraordinarily detailed evidence of the corruption of Joe Biden and where's Hunter Biden? You know where he is? He's
his name?
painting right now for $500,000 apiece.
Okay.
Where's Hunter? His highest and best use, I can tell you, is in a studio to paint, even though he's never painted before.
His highest and best use? Who talks like that?
He set a record for the highest
Eloquent.
price for a person that never painted a picture before. Never did a painting before.
No, well, no one's actually purchased any of them yet, so no, he hasn't set a record.
Then, without any basis whatsoever, Twitter and Facebook banned the New York Post's account of this terrible story. After the election, one poll showed that at least 10% of Joe Biden's voters would have switched their vote.
Really?
If they had known about Joe and Hunter Biden scandals, enough to flip the results of numerous states. But don't worry about it because
I don't know why he won't tell us what poll that is, because I can look at it and very quickly pick it apart. Because the bottom line is, it doesn't matter. There are news outlets that covered Hunter Biden ceaselessly, and Joe won.
Because we won those states anyway.
It was in lots and lots of newspapers. Scrapers. Oh, and so that I get it. If people had known, they would have voted for you instead of Joe Biden, and they did anyway. We won. They did that thing that we're complaining that they didn't do, because they did it. So that's why I'm suing for damages that didn't happen.
Probably the only thing I disagree with. It wouldn't have mattered. They would have found the votes. They would have found those votes. If it was reported, they would have found the votes.
Right. Remember how you said you wanted the state of Georgia to find 11,000 votes for you? To find the votes?
A little more. They would have churned out some more ballots.
Uh-huh.
The truth was covered up, and it...
For 32%, 40%, whatever this percentage of the population, the voting population is, to believe this nonsense... No one else has done that. Even Stacey Abrams didn't say I actually won, because the votes are there. You can see them. You can count them. They're tangible. Every single vote in a disputed state is on paper. There's a paper trail here. We can look at the votes. We do. We look at them over and over and over and over and over. And Joe Biden keeps winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. But for whatever reason, these idiots sitting in this crowd keep supporting this man who it's because they were in drop boxes. They would find them. They're illegal because voter fraud.
It had a giant impact on the election. This must never happen to another party's presidential candidate again. Can never happen.
Okay, but you just said that it had a massive effect on the election, but you won.
We are a laughingstock all over the world.
You are, correct.
Stock.
Ding.
And you know who knows it better than even the people in this room?
Me.
Democrats.
Yeah, I'm not a Democrat, but
furthermore, these big tech companies interfered with and undermined the sacred integrity of the ballot box by censoring any honest discussion of election fraud. You say election fraud, you get canceled. That's the one thing they want to stay away from. You know, the cancel culture, they're very tough on it, but the thing they really don't want is that because we're too close to home, we got too close. Read Time magazine from 4 months ago, the cover story.
What?
They couldn't help themselves.
What? Who's they? They wouldn't, they said they're so close to the cancel culture. That's the one thing that they don't, with the they and the they, and the them and they said, and sometimes they say, a lot of people, they said and they don't want the cancel culture. Read Time magazine. Which conspiracy theory are you talking about? And how many of them? Okay, we can't make it play. Come on, go.
It doesn't go all the way, but it goes far enough, and you see what they did. They want to stay away from talking about the election results. Every time the media references the election hoax, they say the fraud is unproven.
Yeah.
And while there is no evidence,
Yeah.
no evidence.
That, by the way, that was your lawyer who said that. Multiple times, your lawyers have said there's no evidence. In court.
There's so much evidence. You saw what
Okay, but no one told Rudy. Sorry. You know, the guy who can't practice law again in a couple of states?
happened in Georgia the other day? They found 35,000 votes.
They didn't.
Then they deleted in Georgia over 100,000 votes. I said, because they were...
No, they did not delete 100,000 votes. They purged 100,000 voters from the records because those voters had moved out of the state or they were dead. That's called cleaning up the polls. That's fine. That's a lot of places do it, and it's okay. And if people have moved out of state and they can find them recorded in another state or county or whatever, then you clean up the voter rolls. Did I say polls? Sorry, rolls. No votes were deleted. None of those people, not a single one of those people, voted in 2020, or they wouldn't have been cleaned off the rolls.
So bad, voters. I said, why didn't you try doing it before the election? Lost by this much. Why?
They do. They do this after every single election. You just have no idea because you're an ignorant. I can't even say it the way I started to screw up.
Why didn't you do it before?
It's because I'm ignorant.
There's bad things going on in this country, very bad things. We always had the reputation of being a wonderful, brilliant country for voting. And now everyone knows.
Oh, America's a brilliant country for voting. They're just brilliant.
They've watched, they're very smart, and they see what happened. The governor of Georgia and Georgia Secretary of State let us down. They let us down.
Boo.
And by the way, the voting law they passed is far weaker than that of Texas and other states. You hear?
No, Texas didn't pass, remember? Because the Democrats left, and then they had to call a special session, and now the Democrats are on a plane getting out of there, so they still can't pass it? So the Texas law has not passed?
Hear that, Mr. Attorney General? They don't even have signature verification. Could you imagine passing a voting law?
No, in Georgia they have signature verification 3 times.
But they're getting a little good because everyone thinks, oh, they're passing this. No, it's not. And you notice they're the only state that's being sued by the federal government. You know why? Because
they've passed it now.
It's an easy target. Because the governor and the Secretary of State won't defend like that guy will defend.
Probably Ken Paxton is who he's indicating, the guy who's under federal indictment.
So, I only speak the truth. So true.
So
and the
true.
reason the Attorney General of the United States is going after Georgia is it's so bad what they've done, and they'll probably win, and that defense won't take.
The reason the Attorney General is going after Georgia is it's so bad what they've done. Oh, okay. I think that's accurate. I think.
Place. They go out and they really work very hard on finding the right state to look at. Now, Stacey Abrams in Georgia got them to sign what's called a mandated consent decree, which was not approved by the legislature, therefore it's illegal.
No, that's not how consent decrees work at all.
And makes it very...
It's not illegal. It didn't change any of the laws. It clarified them.
Very easy for Democrats to cheat and to win elections. You don't have too many of them in Texas.
It basically mandated that the law be followed. That's what the consent decree was. It was a settlement.
Doc Ronnie, do we have it? The great Doc Ronnie, my doctor.
Who says I only weigh 204 pounds.
Became a congressman, right? He only beat 22 people. 22 people. He was great. I said, Doc, how about if I take a cognitive test? He said, well, you can do it, sir, but if you do, it'll be public. Well, I said, what's
No, that's not, it didn't have to be public.
wrong with that? He said, well, if you don't do well, sir, it's not going to be pretty.
That's part of the medical exam. Doesn't have to be released.
I said, is it hard? He said, after the first 5 questions, it gets very hard.
It does not. Can you identify a camel, an elephant, a lion, a person, a woman, a man, a camera, a TV? By the way, you have to remember those 5 things for 5 minutes. Trump couldn't remember them when he was telling the person, woman, man, camera, TV story. He could only see what was in front of him. Person, a woman, man, there's a camera, there's a TV screen by the camera. 5 minutes. It would be me saying, oh, what? Person, woman, man, camera, TV? Okay, got it. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. 5 minutes from now, I say, camera, screen, microphone, whiskey, heroin. I get lonely. And you got to take off the edge sometimes, kids.
I said, let's take a shot at it.
Teleprompter, podium, microphone, suckers, idiots.
And we did it, and we aced it, right? I aced it.
Just look at his stance, looking at the doctor. It's just so weird. Those shoe lifts must be so big.
And one of the doctors said he's never seen anybody that aced it. And so
it's so easy. Here's a clock. Draw the time. It's 4:20.
Some of those questions are not easy, I will tell you that. How do you think Joe would do in a cognitive test? Hey, you never know.
How do you think Joe would do in a cognitive test?
Maybe he's underneath there. There's somebody that's very unusual. Unfortunately.
It's so anti-cognitive. How do you think Joe would do on a cognitive test? You never know. Underneath there might be somebody who's very unusual. What?
This was an election where the person that counts the votes was far more important than the candidate, no matter how many votes that candidate got, and we got record numbers of votes. It's a disgrace to our nation.
But by the way, thousands of people and machines count the votes. More important than the actual votes themselves.
And we are truly being scorned and disrespected all over the world. Never forget that the radical left is not...
Scorned. The world is scorning us for the election because somehow we betrayed them?
Not the majority in this country. We are the majority, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
And yet you can't win the popular vote. That's an old tree joke. I don't even remember it was, guys, there was some joke about trees. Trump said something about trees, and somebody said the popular vote. I can't remember what it is. So, guys, if you remember what that's referring to, I don't even know. If you could just put it in the chat room. Is that too much to ash? Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree here. I don't want to get sappy about it, but just for sentimental reasons. Zuckerbucks. Oh, USA. Okay, USA. Please stop scorning us, Norway. Hell hath no fury like your Norwegian scorn.
And when you look at their policies, it's just no way that can happen. There's no way. Weak military, they fight against...
By the way, favorite name for a hot sauce? A woman's scorn.
The military, always fighting budget.
Actually, clock is a very complex thing. The numbers represent multiple systems. That's why they use it in a cognitive test. Yes, but anyone with basic cognition skills can do it. Everybody aces the Montreal cognitive test.
It's military. We need strong military right now. So strong.
Count backwards from 100 by 7. That's actually more difficult than you think. Go ahead and do it right now. I'll wait. 100. Let's do it together. 193, and then the 3 and the 7 is 585, and then the 5 and the 7 is 27. I'm done. See?
And having rebuilt the U.S. military is one of my greatest achievements. It was a sick and tired military. The equipment was old and depleted, and now we have those brand new F-35s and everything's brand new, and we have a great military, or it's coming soon and they won't be able to stop it.
Holy crap. This is a picture from Marcy. I don't know how authentic this is, etc. I've actually seen this one before, and there we can see, let's see what you guys can see. Hold on. Let me zoom in for you. So this is, we were talking about shoe lifts a little while ago. And come on, do your thing. There we go. You can see this is his ankle. Here, there. Thank you, mouse. This is his ankle. This should be down here. That's where that belongs. So, and it maybe because he's sitting and maybe his ankle's coming out of his shoe a little bit. I'll do that sometimes. But if that's the way, that's got to be the case. That's just way too obvious because we've seen, but usually his pant leg is covering it, so we might not see it when he's standing. I don't know that I care. Hold on, I'm trying to get you guys back. There you are. But thank you, Marcy. But yeah, if those, we know that he uses makeup. That's beyond obvious, and people who've worked with him before explained that they lay out the makeup in the morning, etc. So that's the shoe lifts being, we know that he lies about his height. We know that he lies about his weight. It's just, we know that his hair changes color constantly, which, okay, go ahead and dye your hair. So many people do it anyway. But then don't deny it. Don't lie about it.
But the radical left cheat in elections, and the fake news media cheats in polling, like having me down 17 points just before the election in Wisconsin. No, in Wisconsin.
In where? Wisconsin? Buddy, you whiz.
Donald Trump, ABC News, Washington Post, just before.
That's actually true. A week before, he was down by 17 points in one poll.
Now, when people hear that, it's called suppression. They say, we love the president, but we're going to stay home. Let's watch.
Or they say, we love the president, and we're going to show up because this campaign has had enthusiasm like no one's ever known. No one's ever seen a movement like this, and we're only just beginning.
Television, Harry. I said, that's a good idea. Harry's going to stay home with Janet.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that Harry and Janet have found someone. That's something a lot of us seek for in this life. And if you can find someone who'll stay home with you instead of voting, then God bless you both. I wish Harry and Janet happiness.
I'm down 17 points, and I felt I was winning the state.
He's such a storyteller, really. He's America's Mark Twain.
And we did, in my opinion, win the state, but it was very close.
In his opinion, they won the state, and that's how elections work.
Even by their fake numbers, it was very close. So they have it down 17 points. And interestingly, in
this won't be interesting.
2016, the exact same thing happened. They had me down 19 points Same people, ABC News,
That's actually not true. So it's not that interesting.
Washington Post, suppression. I was down 19 points, and I won the state. So that's a fake poll. It should be illegal. That's a fake poll.
It should be illegal. I'm out there standing up for your First Amendment rights, suing private corporations. At the same time, it should be illegal for opinion polls to give opinions. At least he's inconsistent. What time is it? We won't finish this tonight, by the way. We're like a third of the way through. It's 31 minutes into it, kids. But I do have a hockey game at 7:30, so I do have to get going here shortly at some point. We'll revisit this tomorrow. This is really too much for one day.
Same people. At least they got better. They had
Arizona audit is just the beginning of what, off time?
17 instead of 19. But I was down 4 years ago. You know, we got them by surprise in 2016. They said, we're never going to let that happen again. That's what happened. Americans.
And they didn't.
Do not support the woke left. The people are with us. You have no idea how much.
I actually know exactly how much. 47%. Exactly how much.
You have no idea how much.
47%.
In a recent, highly respected Rasmussen poll.
Okay, off time. More audits are coming. Yeah, okay. They don't actually affect the election. I mean, even if the audits did find something, they can't affect the election. That's just not the way the Constitution works. But please tell me what's going to happen with the audits. The Arizona audit has found nothing of substance. And it's been months. It's supposed to be done in May. It's supposed to be done in June. It's supposed to be done in July. It's supposed to be done the Thursday before the July 4th, July 1st. Then it was going to be done that Saturday. Just in time for the big celebration. Still, now it might be August. Now it's going to be August 13th that Trump was reinstated. No one can explain through what means. I know it's August 13th because that's my birthday, so I'm really looking forward to Trump being reinstated so I can finally get my Trump health care.
58% of voters say the media is truly the enemy of the people. Think of that.
That's not true at all. Where did you hear that? The media?
58%.
Not true.
And only 23% disagreed. Nobody can tell me that defunding the police, open borders, raising your taxes. It used to be you're running.
No one's raised any taxes. The Republicans, by the way, want to raise the gas tax. How do we pay for infrastructure is the question. Oh, well, what we want to do is we want to get rid of some of the corporate tax breaks that Trump gave them, and then they just bought their own stock back. Remember the stock buybacks that we said were going to happen and then did happen? Even Trump has admitted that was a huge failure. Well, we want to get rid of some of those. And if you make $400,000 or more, we want you to go a little bit back towards where you were in terms of taxes. The Republicans are like, no, do the gas tax because that hurts the little guy.
For office, we're going to cut your taxes. This is the only time in history we're going to raise your taxes. Oh, I'm going to vote for him. I want to raise.
But no, Biden didn't say he was going to raise taxes. He said he was going to raise taxes on people making more than $400,000 and corporations.
And they're raising your taxes so you can waste this money on the Green New Deal, which is nonsense. So
yeah, off time. Biden is actually doing a fantastic
job. I took off more
job.
regulations than any president in history.
The economy is booming right now. Record stock market. Last week, all three indices hit a record number in the stock market. 9.3 million available jobs. This is the best time to be a worker in the history of America. And almost 70% of the population at least one vaccine. A lot of people said it couldn't be done. So yeah, Biden's doing an amazing job so far. And the weird thing is, not tweeting about crowd size on a daily basis.
History.
He wished everyone a happy 4th, and he didn't have to say also even the losers and the haters. What kind of president is that doesn't point out that there's losers or something.
And that's what gave us, really. I actually think, Louis, it was more important than the taxes, than cutting taxes. But we took off the regulations. Used to take 20.
But there's no metric for that, by the way. Nobody knows. No one knows for sure. No one. I haven't been able to find any stats on how many regulations have been cut and all the other stuff. But he loves to say it. Speaking of people loving to say that, Off Time has told us that Biden is doing a great job. I think that's a great time to end the broadcast because I do have a hockey game in a very short period of time here, and I should put my stuff together. And I hurt my foot netsing this morning, so I hope I can play. Hold on, let me. Yeah, we'll go for it. I'll take a couple ibuprofen and play. So guys, it's been great. We will cover more of this tomorrow or the next day. Likely tomorrow. I think we can do this tomorrow. I might be resting a very sore foot. I don't know. Guys, it's been great. Be good to yourself. Be good to somebody else. And most importantly, be good to your Kevinly